and welcome to this month's Johnstone Supply Tech Tip. My name is Tom Knight, and I work with the Waterloo and Cedar Rapids, Iowa Johnstone Supply stores. And I'm here today to talk to you about some exciting changes to the Goodman high efficiency gas furnace lineup. Specifically the GM VC gas furnaces. This is the 96% two-stage variable speed furnace. We're going to see some changes here. If you haven't seen one of these already, you soon will. They've made some upgrades to this, and one of the first things you'll notice when you take the doors off this unit is that there are no dip switches down here on the circuit board anymore. So when it comes time to configure the unit as far as staging, heating airflow capacity, cooling airflow capacity, constant fan, none of that is accomplished with dip switches anymore. So no more laying on the floor with a flashlight in your teeth, trying to get your trifocals adjusted, trying to see where those dip switches are. We can do that all remotely through a Bluetooth interface with this control board. Now I want to be very clear, this is only on the GM VC and I believe the GM VM units will have this technology in place. The GM EC furnace with the constant torque fan motor is going to stay the same. It will not upgrade to the Bluetooth technology as of yet. And of course the GMSS 96 furnace, the single stage multi-speed furnace, will remain the same as well. But we're going to go through just a quick overview of this board, how it works, how to set up. It's really easy. They've really done their homework on this and made this very user-friendly. As I said before, the first thing you'll notice is there's no dip switches. How do we set it up then, right? Well, as I said, there's a Bluetooth interface on there, and what you will need to do is to download what we call the CoolCloud app. Go to your app store on your mobile device, whatever you have, cell phone, laptop, tablet, whatever you have that has a Bluetooth enabled capacity, and pick up right there the CoolCloud app. Download that. It's a free app, doesn't cost you a dime, and this is for contractors and service technicians only. This is not for homeowners. You do not want a homeowner in there dabbling with this. When I open up my CoolCloud app, it will say looking for an HVAC unit. It sends out a Bluetooth scan looking for any type of equipment that may be in the area. If it times out, just click refresh, and you will see right there it has located my GM VC 96 furnace. When you first sync up to the unit, there is a 3-digit LED up here. Right now it says idle, which means it's in standby. It's not calling for heating or for cooling. When you first pair these two up, there will be a 3-digit code that you will have to enter into the CoolCloud app. And that tells that furnace that it is communicating with your device, and your device that it is communicating with that furnace. If you happen to be in a mechanical room with multiple units, or in a multi-family dwelling with several different units that serves that house or business, we make sure that we pair one-to-one. Now once I'm locked into this unit, somebody else can't come along with another CoolCloud app and try to access that same unit. It locks you out. So that's a very nice feature to have. Once I'm keyed into this, all I have to do is click on the unit I have here, and it shows me some interesting facts. One of the first things it's going to show me is everything I have in my system here. It's going to show me my system settings. System settings is very important. When we look at that, that's where we're going to see our configuration info and our device settings. Device settings is very important because you'll see some of the CoolCloud technology at work here. You'll see the set point satisfy rate. What that is there for is, this is a multi-stage furnace, but if you look down here on the terminal strip, you will only see a W1 terminal. There is no W2 terminal. You use this strictly with a single stage heating cooling thermostat. In fact, you can use almost any single stage heat cool thermostat and still retain all the functions of a communicating multi-stage furnace. It's pretty slick. The system set point satisfy rate right here, I just click on that and it will tell me some adjustment options. What can I set that to? Well, I can go anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes, or I can use a custom setting. What that tells me is that if I have that set on 10 minutes, I'm going to run on first stage heat for 10 minutes, then I'm going to go to second stage heat. And I can adjust that, as I said earlier. We can go any range you want to customize that, or you can also lock in a custom profile where it will start a learning algorithm where it'll look at your last 4, 5, 6 heat cycles, how long were they, how often were they, and it will generate an algorithm of when to shift between first and second stage. Pretty slick. Gives you all the features of a two-stage custom thermostat with just a single stage stat. Let's move on to device status. Device status tells us the status of our equipment right now. You can see we are idle and that we are don't have a 24 volt coil to W, Y, or G at the moment. I can also go in and look at my furnace. Just specifically look at that furnace. My configuration info here, this tells me the model number of my furnace, tells me my heating capacity, tells me my blower motor horsepower, and also, very importantly, tells me my maximum system CFM. That's going to be very important. This particular unit is a 3-ton blower capacity unit, so it has a maximum airflow of 1400 CFM. Now remember, I said there's no dip switches on this board. How do I set our airflow? Very simple. We do that right here from the device settings screen. We look at our constant fan airflow multiplier. What that is a percentage of our system's total airflow. So if I have a 1400 CFM airflow capacity unit and I set my constant airflow multiplier at 50%, which I can easily do, or 55% I guess, I'm going to have roughly about 700 CFM on constant fan. Now before, in the old days, it was what, 30%? You take it or leave it, that's all you would get. Now we have full adjustment on there. We can adjust that all the way down to 25%. We can crank it all the way up to 100% on constant fan. So a very nice feature to have. We also have our airflow trim settings here. We also have our airflow percentage for high stage heat, which means of that 1400 CFM, what percentage of that do you want for high stage heating? Normally we want somewhere around 65%, which would give us roughly 900 CFM for a 60,000 BTU furnace, but we can change that if we want to. Let's go ahead and lock that into 65% right there. Click done, there we go. Now, for our low stage heat, the percentage there, that is strictly a percentage of what our high stage airflow is. So in other words, we can never set our first stage heating airflow higher than our second stage airflow. Gas off heat delay, that's strictly how long does our blower run once our call for heat is terminated. Same thing with gas heat on delay. How long are we going to let that burner run before we start up the blower? All these are adjustable right at your fingertips on the Cool Cloud app. Like I say, no more dip switches. If you don't set these up very often, and sometimes you'll forget what one of these icons is, just hit the information tab off to the side, and it'll give you a nice, easy to understand description of what you're looking at. There's several things you can do with this. One of the things I like is fault code history. You can look at active fault codes, or you can look at resolved fault codes. As you can see, I've been playing with this unit quite a bit. There's quite a few resolved fault codes, and those can be dealt with later on. Active fault codes are the ones that the unit is locked out on at the moment. So a very handy feature to have. That's it for the furnace. We can also look at the air conditioning, AC side of this. Now, if we had a communicating condensing unit hooked up to this, we could look at several of the features and the sensors in that outdoor unit. When you're just using a legacy or a 24-volt condensing unit, this is what you're going to see. You're going to, number one, you're going to see a test mode. And you have this on the heating side of things too. I just didn't take the time to show you. But if I want to charge this unit and I want to lock it into high stage cool, I can just hit that and it will automatically go into high cooling airflow. Now, as you can see, our 3-digit LED in our board is giving us some information. It's toggling between AC, which is our current function, and our system airflow. So we know that we are in air cooling or air conditioning, and our airflow is 800 CFM. Very handy feature to have. So let's say I'm done with my test mode. I can just hit stop and I've stopped my test mode. Now, as far as setting our airflow for cooling, you know, in the old days we had the I&O manual with all the blower charts, all the dip switches we had to turn on, the ones we had to turn off. It was kind of clunky, took a little bit of time. All we have to do now is just go to device settings, pick out our tonnage of cooling capacity, select done. Once I've selected a 2-TUD unit, my high stage cooling airflow is now set to 800 CFM. No more adjustments necessary. I can also set this for a single or a multi-stage air conditioner or heat pump, and then I can have a high stage cool airflow and a low stage cool airflow. Still using just a single Y1 terminal and a single stage thermostat. I set my set point satisfy rate based on either timings or algorithms, and that controls the second stage of my equipment. Very nice. I also have my blower on delay for cooling and my blower off delay as well. Very handy things to have. The other thing that I can also put on here is called work notes. As soon as you log into a system, there's different notes that you can put on here. You can put the date, when you service the equipment, if you've changed any parts out, or if you've had any ongoing situations with either the equipment or the customer. You can put that information in there. Okay, that's pretty much all there is to the Cool Cloud HVAC app and the ComfortNet board on the, Comfortbridge board on the new GMVC furnaces. That's all we have for today. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any further questions about the Goodman product line, the GMVC furnace, the Comfortbridge board, or the Cool Cloud app, please feel free to contact me here at the store. My information's on our website.